You had mentioned earlier that you went with the DNA LF lenses. Can you talk to me about what led you to that decision? What were the qualities of the lenses that were really working for you?
I should say we, JP and I, we were looking for imperfections, accidents. We were not looking for a perfectly clinical, sharp, crisp lens, and we thought it would be interesting to bring a little bit of funkiness to the image. So we started a little bit. I think it was even before Christmas 2019, a very long time ago. We started testing a bunch of lenses. I think we're talking about 6 or 7 series of lenses, and more in the vintage glass, vintage style, But at the same time, we needed to have something that was reliable, meaning at that time, way before COVID, we were supposed to travel through a multitude of different locations. At some point, from the moment Block 2 starts, that means we have 2 full units running full time at the same time. So we kind of had to had a newer lens that we were sure would support and would not fail us. So we tested, I think, like Primo. The Primo 70, we tested the DNA, the signature. I can't remember. I think, to be honest, I think it was 6 or 7 series, and the one that seemed the most sexy and funky were the DNA. So that's what guided us towards those lenses.
JP, any particular focal length that you were favoring more than others with that DNA set?
I mean, I really love the 21. I think it's one of our hero lenses to the show. 21, 29 are just really beautiful lenses. We mixed it up for the wide end with some of the signatures, which we had refresh my mind, but I think it was the 12 and
a 15,
signature, and
for your wide,
15 was an absolutely exceptional lens. It absolutely had no bending. That was a stunning lens. So you could, I used it on a sequence with Jennifer as the lens for the whole scene, as Taylor Ball kind of go into a mine, and the distortion, it gets distorted at some point, but it's very much acceptable and kind of worked really well in the moment.
Are you talking about the scenes where you her visions, her dreams, Jennifer's visions and dreams? Oh, yeah, that was something I wanted to talk about because I love the way that you approach that. It's almost like it appears to me that you have the camera really close. They're centered most of the time in those kind of scenes. And there's distortion around the edges of the lenses. It's a really cool look, and it has almost like I think that thing is called a Snorri cam. Is that what that's called when you wear the mount and you have the camera in front of you like this and it kind of stays on the mount, like a reverse Steadicam, where you're wearing like a harness and the camera's coming right to your face. Does that ring a bell? I think it's called Snorri Cam.
It is.
It could be the. It was a version of the Snorri Cam. It was absolutely a version of the Snorri Cam. James Frater, our camera operator, was a really talented man. Was fantastic. Really getting in there and really maintaining the shots and reacting to the actors with a perfect timing.
So you were using this, you said, what did you say, 21? No. What were you saying? Your 15s for that? 15
on this, yeah.
And what about the aberrations on the edges of the lenses? Were those brought in post, or was some of that natural?
Some of it was natural when you shoot wide open on the lens, and from memory, I think he has been enhanced in post.
And Roman, you had mentioned earlier that color was a big part of what you wanted to bring in for season 2. Those lenses, were you adding filtration on top of it? Was there anything done practically that was giving you that color, or were you relying mostly on, color grade later on?
No, so first there was quite a lot of work designing a lot at the beginning of the show to make sure those color would be enhanced, to make sure we would get enough color separation, color contrast, color separation, and that we had an overall saturation that that we liked. So I would say that was the first research in terms of getting the colors. That goes obviously along with all the huge work that has been done with by costumes and art departments, and obviously because that all start with this, right? But to answer your question, the filtration, not really. We used some diffusion filter on the signature to help those to matching the DNAs. And from time to time there was some diffusion were used for some close-up or extreme close-up, like I would say pretty usual. But no, the DNAs, they have that sort of they're precise, but they're soft, and they're very gentle with skin tones, and the bokeh, the out of focus, like the depth, the out of focus part of the image are very very gentle, very soft, it's very, it has an organic feel to it, So it didn't need to be additionally filtered. It felt right.